Good morning, members, and to the viewing public. We are back on our budget hearing session. And from yesterday's recess, we concluded with the Department of Community and Cultural Affairs, and before us now is Department of Public Works, and we have Resident Director Joel Untulan with us here. And also we have the Special Assistant to the Mayor, Alan Perez, if there's any questions with regards to the Mayor's office. So with that said, R.D. Untulan, I give you the floor for your opening statement. Thank you. Yes.
Test.
Thank you. And before R.D. Untulan gives his opening remarks, of course, we have again, we are grateful that we have Ms. V here with us. And virtually we have Mr. Palacios and Ms. Katrina Lin from Department of Finance joining us virtually this morning. So with that, you have the floor, R.D.
Thank you. Good morning, Honorable Chairman and members of this committee. My name is Joel Untulan, and I'm the Resident Department Head for Tinian DPW. The Department of Public Works is mandated by law to maintain all public roads, including but not limited to paved and unpaved roads for safety of all motorists. In addition, we are tasked to maintain safety signs, guardrails, drainages, and paint lines and install reflectors on all highway roads as needed. DPW is responsible for inspection and enforcement of all building safety codes on all building construction. Also, the department is empowered to collect and dispose of solid waste, and we are currently working to collect fees once we have enough resources. Due to the high cost of fuel and lack of manpower resources, DPW is striving hard to be resourceful in finding all means to accomplish its goals and mission. So I'm going to give a little brief overview of our divisions right now. So under the Roads and Grounds Division, we currently have 5 staff, 4 operator 1s, 1 operator 3. We wrote a letter on April 2nd of this year requesting if these employees can get a salary increase. The operator 1s are making $7.61 per hour, and the operator 3 makes $8.39 per hour. With the responsibilities they have daily, I believe these staff should have a salary increase. We've currently lost a lot of these employees to private companies who pay their operators a considerable amount more per hour. Also, we are requesting for another truck and a trailer to pull our equipment for the roads and grounds. When we have a task that we don't have the resources to handle, we reach out to the mayor's office or DLNR for assistance. They will assist if they can, and we'll assist them if we can. And I want to thank the mayor's office and DLNR for all their assistance. Our building safety division, we currently don't have a building inspector. We have 1 of our solid waste staff and 2 mayor's staff that have been trained in Saipan to do building inspections. Nobody has applied for our building inspector position since we opened it. We've opened it for a year, and the closing date is October 10th, 2025 of this year. I believe if the salary for this position was increased, we would have applicants. Our solid waste division, our staff consists of 2 administrative assistants, 1 solid waste landfill manager, 1 landfill supervisor, 1 equipment operator 4, and 1 equipment operator 2. We are currently in the process of hiring 2 more equipment operator 1s and 2s. We've done all the interviews, everything, and we're just waiting for the signatures from Saipan. So that's in the process right now. We also are requesting for a vehicle for solid waste operations and are working with OPD for other resources under the SODRA grant. The CNMI comprehensive plan has to be completed before we can tap into the SODRA grant. I'd like to thank you guys for your time for me to speak about a little bit about our operations, and I'm willing to answer any questions today. Thank you.
Thank you, R.D. Ontolan. Uh, With regards to your funded vacant position for the position of building inspector, how long has this position been open? I know that you mentioned on your opening statement that it's been quite a while and nobody's applying for this position?
I believe it was open early January and no one applied, so then we did a letter to OPM and we announced it for a year.
Okay, so
So
there's still ongoing.
The closing date is 10/10 of this year
Okay,
is the closing date.
yeah.
And on the governor's proposal, I saw there's two positions
For building
Inspector, yes.
inspector that is
Yes.
actually funded
yes.
at
That's news.
25,000.
I just
each.
noticed that just like about 5 minutes ago.
Right,
Yes.
okay. Thank you. And then on your request to the executive branch, there is a amount in the tune of 123,700 for cleaning services. Are this cleaning the right-of-way, or what kind of cleaning services is this?
Is this on the governor's proposal, sir? Because
No, this is actually the department's request under
government
class code
that one.
63300, which is actually cleaning services at the amount of 123,000. So the question is, what kind of cleaning services is this actually?
Maybe
upon
it's just
the
a typo, sir. I'm not really
Okay, so you have no
sure
knowledge
about-
of
yeah,
this.
exactly.
Okay. So with that, I then open the floor for any members who may have questions for R.D. Ontalan. Let me recognize the Vice Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, Artie. Thank you again for freeing up your time and joining us this morning. You had mentioned that, so there's 2 building inspector positions, and you're surprised that there's
Yeah.
an additional one.
Yes.
Would 1 be enough, or would the 2?
I think 2, because like right now we're using one of our staff and 2 of the mayor's staff to do building inspections, so 2 should be.
Should be.
Yes,
Okay.
especially with the action happening in Tinian right now.
But it's been ongoing over 6 months already since you've been trying to fill
Yes.
the 1 slot.
Yes.
Okay. Vehicle and trailers a request?
Yes, I believe we're in the process of using some of our revolving funds to get some of those things.
Which revolving fund?
Actually, since you guys put it on the budget, we can use it like our building code.
Yeah.
Revolving fund?
Okay, the building code
Yeah.
revolving fund. Okay.
Yeah.
But have you guys requested from Central?
Yes, but so far we haven't got any, yes.
DBW
Yes.
regarding a trailer and
Yes,
vehicle? And they
yes.
have not been responsive?
No.
How many more revolving accounts do you guys have?
We have one more, the solid waste revolving fund.
How much is in that account?
Hold on, sir. I think it was just, it was frozen earlier.
Yes, it
correct?
was. That's why I'm wondering how much is there.
99,026.04.
Liquid cash
That's
available for you guys.
I'm like chief here. I'm confused sometimes about
Okay,
reading this minutes.
I guess finance is on the line. What's it, see, Jude? Katrina Lynn, regarding the solid waste account for Tinian, is it, what's the amount that you guys have?
I can look into it and then I'll get back to you guys.
Okay, thank you. RD, about the building code, how much is in there?
What I got here, I'm kind of sketchy about this one too. It's $289,102, and I don't know how, because the fees are not that big.
Okay. Katrina Lynn, can we please verify those numbers?
Yes, I will look into that account as well.
All right, thank
Yeah,
you.
okay.
Have you guys used up any of this money? Over the
We've
last-
been kind of like what Representative Marissa said yesterday. We've been thinking about the future, so
Okay.
we're thinking things are not going to improve. So yes, we have, but we're
Okay.
not massively using it.
So okay, so we go back to like the solid waste. It's been suspended the last couple of fiscal years.
Yeah,
So this is-
we've been using a lot of that money to pay for the solid waste stuff too.
Okay, a lot of the building code.
Yes.
funds?
Because actually, it used to say more.
Yeah.
than that.
Okay. All right. All right. I yield my time. Thank you, Artie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Are there any members that has a question? Let me recognize Representative Angelo Camacho and then Representative Juliogo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, RD Octalon.
Good morning.
So I noticed on your submission, you don't have anything for travel, and you do have 2 openings for the building safety inspectors. I think it's, I don't know, for me, I think it's really critical that you send these guys down to Saipan for some kind of training.
Previously, the building code paid for their travel. I don't know. Do you work for building, right? Previously,
I just noticed you don't have
they'd
any-
pay for that.
Okay.
We
so-
do have, we submitted, I believe, let me look at what we submitted for travel. I think we submitted like $8,000.
Maybe perhaps we can take some of the 123,700 for cleaning services and apply it to travel.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And you.
Thank you, Representative Angelo Camacho. Recognize Representative Juliogo.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning, everybody present today. RD Untalan and Chico staff, Alan Perez. I'm looking at this settlement against government. What is this for? 55,000.
Hold on. Settlement. I honestly don't know. Yeah, I have no idea
Okay.
what it is.
Okay. So, zero out?
Sure. Maybe let me recognize on that question, let me recognize Ms. Jasmine Camacho.
Okay, I see.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Rep. Julie, you still have the floor.
Thank you. That's all for now. I yield.
Any other members have questions for RD Untalan? And let me recognize the floor leader.
So even the microphones are weapons of. Thank you and good morning, Mr. Antalan. I've had the honor of working with you before under this piercing Tinian sun. So you mentioned that you needed some equipment, a truck and a trailer to be exact.
Yes.
How much would that cost?
Roughly a new vehicle, because right now what we're doing, I think the mayor mentioned in his, we're pretty much going to other departments and getting old vehicles and trying to fix them up, and it's kind of defeating the purpose because we're putting a lot of money into that vehicle. So a new vehicle would probably cost about $50,000 now, and a trailer is about so $55,000.
The trailer, will you have someone make that for you?
It's already made.
Oh, is
We-
it?
we-
It's just
we
waiting
already-
for the truck?
Yeah, it's all right. We've already tested it out. It'll fit our equipment and everything.
right.
So,
And this would be an outright purchase for the truck, or would this be a lease?
all right, purchase.
Outright?
Yes.
Have you checked with, does procurement and supply in Saipan have any cars that, maybe trucks?
I've checked with our counterparts at Roads and Grounds, DPW, but they don't have
They
any.
don't have anything.
Yeah, procurement, I haven't checked. I'm sorry. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's, maybe you can call, I guess, Miss Jerry Dela Cruz or Dan. I don't know what's his last name. And just check what they have on their inventory.
Okay, thank you.
That way, when they ask you to clear this purchase, they don't have to tell you again to check procurement. You've done that already.
Yes.
That also is a common practice that we have here, just the due diligence. And then you have, you're requesting also a building inspector too?
Well, actually, we requested one, but on the governor's submission, there was two.
And then you mentioned something about a disparity in the salaries.
I've just, Tinian's a small place.
Uh-huh.
I have a lot of people, they say they're gonna apply, and the reason they don't apply is because they said, can you increase the salary? I'm just putting it out there. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know if you can or not. I'm not really sure.
Because it's funded at
25
nothing right now, but it's 25,000.
25,000, yes.
Okay. I guess, Mr. Perez, will you be conducting any MOUs or MOAs for this position? Do you foresee using that authority to fill this position at some point?
So we currently have two of our mayor's office staff serving in that function.
Okay.
They went to Saipan, they got trained, but obviously it's better to have someone within DPW to actually be trained and take the position. So
Okay.
I don't think that our staff is going to transfer over to that position.
Okay, so the ones that you have currently, MOU and MOA in Saipan, under DPW, they have no means to return back here?
Okay, so they're on Tinian.
Oh,
They're
okay.
not in Saipan.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
two mayor's office staff, because without it, then you literally can't build anything on this island. So when we lost our one DPW building inspector, then we had an emergency.
Okay,
So the plan was to send two of the mayor's office staff, get temporarily trained, go ahead and provide the service until we could fill those positions.
okay, so you need two more.
Yeah,
Okay.
to take the positions that are
Gotcha.
doing right now, yes.
Go ahead.
If I may, they're interested in that position too.
Oh,
but
good.
Salary. So there's two of them that
Okay.
are interested, yes.
All right. And then, Chairman, I have a question. If we were to give Secretary of Finance Office the organization code for this particular funding source, would she be able to pull that number out, or will she still need time?
My apologies, Flor. Can you,
My question was, if we were to supply Ms. Hernandez the organization code, org code, for the two revolving funds, would that make it easier for her to extract the current balance of those two funds?
I believe they could extract that. Ms. Katrina Lynn? Do you hear the question posed by the floor leader? Or Mr.
I
Pelosi?
understand correctly, if I understand correctly, if you were to give me the org code and the object code, you would want me to confirm the report?
No. My question was, if we were to supply you with the org code, will you be able to put that into your computer and come up with a number on your screen to give us a
Yes.
balance? You would?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Chairman, can I give her the organizational code?
Yes, please.
Okay, so for DPW, on the building safety code Tinian, the org number is 532-000-200.
532-200-200.
Oh, 532-200-200.
532-200. It's not it.
Okay, so 532-200-200.
Let's find out what the balance on that account is.
If it's real.
I have $37,801.23.
Okay, and that's as of today, correct?
Yes.
All right, and then on the other code, which was interesting to us, is the 532, or I'm sorry, 53200 600.
532.
53200 600.
That's not, that code didn't pull up for me. 532.
Five three 200600.
Okay. For solid waste Tinian, I have negative $49,985.14.
Thank you, Ms. Hernandez, for clarifying that. Even the numbers that I'm looking at are inaccurate and not the same as yours. I appreciate your help. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that's what I was trying to say. Sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's positive. so
Yeah, and I
don't know.
think, Mr. Antalan, I have a different number. You have a different number. OMB has a different number. Secretary of Finance has a different number. Mr. Chairman, at some point these numbers need to tally. And if I can ask with all due respect, maybe we need to at some point have a meeting with the agencies involved, especially when we're talking about money, because they can procure something and obligate something, assuming that the number's there, the funds are there, only to find out it's not, and then you have, this concern and issue that they're tapping into other places, and then we're, at the end of the fiscal year, we're trying to consolidate, and, it's just kind of confusing. And I think in terms of coffers money, we need to be a little bit more responsible and manage that better. Thank you so much. I yield my time.
Duly noted. We will get more clarification on that matter. RD Antalan, how is the support from the Central Office of Department of Public Works in Saipan with regards to any assistance here for the municipality of Tinian and Aguiguan?
So far, the only support we got, but we didn't write the letter, was for the new agriculture projects, base course. Not base course, fuel. $16,000 was paid for the, but
For
as
the
for
fuel-
the
for the
department,
fuel, yeah.
yes, as for the department, we have numerous letters, but no support yet.
But with regards to, you mentioned on your opening remarks that your staffs are being trained also in Saipan, and those are the kind of support also the central government
Oh
has
yeah,
given?
that's the building safety officers are being trained there, and OPD's helping a lot too with this ASADRA grant. We've got some of our staff being trained for solid waste issues too.
Right, and on your opening statement, you have mentioned with the landfill, right, that you guys are making progress. Where are we right now? I know that perhaps there was that funding from the delegate's office, right? That was dedicated for the design and all that to get up to par with EPA standards, right?
Correct,
How are
correct.
we with that?
I think they're just in the processing stage right now. Like, Chief, can you?
So for the existing landfill, we're actually going to use the ASADRA funds. So with the current allocation of ASADRA funds, we're going to have the design and also the construction to take the existing landfill to a small community exempt landfill. After that, the new landfill, we at this current time have no funds allocated to that project.
Okay, and how's the support from the military buildup? I know that perhaps maybe they are one way or another assisting in that matter too. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a little tricky because obviously they have to stay on their main objective, and then when they do have time, we have asked many times for them to assist us. So one of the projects that the director was referring to was the new homestead up at Castillo, which is the agricultural homestead. So since they had downtime, they actually were going to provide us personnel and equipment usage. The only thing that they didn't have was fuel. So then we reached out to DPW Saipan and asked for fuel, and the secretary provided $16,000 worth of fuel for that project, which is almost completed now. So once that project's completed, which is basically clearing the secondary roads, so then we could go ahead and do the lottery for the homesteads.
Thank you for that, Mr. Perez. That's great news.
Yeah.
Are there any further questions for RD Ontalan? If there are no further questions, RD Ontalan, we thank you as well as Mr. Perez for coming before the committee to answer questions. And if the chair will now give you the floor to give some closing remarks. Thank you.
I'll just make it really short. I'd just like to thank the committee for coming to Tinian and listen to all the department's issues and hopefully have some solutions to resolve some of these problems. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, members, we have next on our order of business is the Department of Public Safety, and I know we have two folks here, Mr. Wally Villagomez and Ton Borja, that could perhaps assist too. And we also have Mr. Alan Perez here before us. So with that, Officer Villagomez, I give you the floor for your opening remarks.
Good morning, Honorable Chairman, Vice Chairman, and esteemed members of this committee. My name is Sergeant Wally Villagomez, and I am the Acting Director. It is both an honor and a responsibility to speak before you today as the Acting Director of the Department of Public Safety on Tinian. I do so with a deep sense of purpose and a shared commitment to safeguard our community. Currently, our department is staffed with 10 officers. However, this number will soon decrease to 9 or 8 as officers rotate out or depart due to personnel changes. This staffing shortfall hampers our ability to maintain consistent patrol coverage, respond swiftly to emergencies, and enforce laws effectively across the island. Adding to the challenge is the recent population increase driven by significant military activities, infrastructure development, and the arrival of new residents and contractors. In the past year alone, we have seen a surge in traffic, an increase in public events, and more incidents requiring law enforcement attention, pressing our current resources beyond their limits. For example, during the recent community gatherings, multiple officers were stretched thin, and delays in response times were noticeable, impacting public safety and community trust. Given these dynamics, funding for additional 10 full-time equivalent FTE position is absolutely vital. These new officers will bolster our patrol capacity, improve emergency response times, and ensure comprehensive coverage throughout the island. This expansion is necessary not only for maintaining law and order, but also for supporting the ongoing military operations and infrastructure projects that are transforming Tinian's landscape. Furthermore, these positions will help us develop a more resilient and professional force capable of handling complex situations, including increased traffic, security for large events, and potential incidents involving heightened activity. They are essential investment in our community's safety and future stability. The mayor and I are actively working with the Workforce Investment Agency, and we plan to begin recruitment on June 23rd, 2025. This step is critical in preparing for the upcoming police academy and rapidly scaling our staffing to meet the current and future demands. We respectively seek your support for these 10 FT positions, not just as figures in a budget, but as a vital personnel needed to protect our residents, enhance emergency preparedness, and maintain peace and order on Tinian during these period of growth. Your support will ensure we continue to serve our community effectively and safely. And also, I am respectfully requesting your support in securing funding for continued employment and restructuring of our existing officers. At present, we have 10 dedicated officers who are shouldering the department's responsibilities. These individuals are overworked. They are doing multitasking. Some handle 2 sections and are stretched in a thin line. Yet they remain committed to holding down the fort and ensuring the department continues to operate effectively. I would also like to bring up to your attention regarding our department's travel expenses. Historically, the mayor has generously supported our travel costs for our officers during emergency responses, such as court hearings, detainees escorts to Saipan, or interview with the juvenile officers under DYS. While we deeply appreciate their support, we recognize that these expenses were not budgeted under the mayor's office, making it increasingly difficult for him to continue to cover our travel costs. I respectfully request that a dedicated travel budget be established for our department. This would allow us to manage travel-related duties effectively without placing an unplanned financial burden on the mayor's office. Last, I'd like to thank you, Chairman, and these esteemed body and members for your time and attention. I'm now ready to answer any questions that you may have regarding the department.
Thank you, Acting Director Villagomez. You've mentioned that you guys are making progress in having a academy in the near future. Is this academy going to be conducted here on the island of Tinian, or you're bringing them to Saipan for the academy?
We had a meeting with the mayor, the governor, and the commissioner about 2 months ago. So they're just waiting on us to start hiring the cadets, and then from then on, we're going to discuss whether to have it here or Saipan for the academy.
Okay, thank you for that response. I see that there are several vacancies that are actually funded, and I know that a lot of your officers are resigning from the department. But are there any efforts with the department currently in trying to fill these vacancies right now? So I see that there's like police officer 2 positions that are actually funded but are vacant right now. So the question is the department, are there any efforts by the department in trying to fill these vacancies?
Well, in the past, we've announced these positions, but no one has applied for it. So what I did with the mayor is we restructured at least 10 for the cadets. Restructure down to cadets. So that way when WIA kicks off on the 23rd, that'll give us like 6 months to a year. Then after that, we'll transfer them.
Thank you for that clarification. And then on your budget request, there is a request in the tune of 17,574 for communications. What kind of communication is this request from the department? And my second question to that is, are there any support actually with the Central Department of Public Safety in Saipan to Tinian Municipality?
So for the communications, that'll cover for our landlines and our internet for the 17,000.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. How's the support from Department of Public Safety Saipan Commissioner Macoronas? Are there any support to the municipality of Tinian and Aguiguan?
I myself have been requesting, we've shoot up a letter, CC copy the mayor and Chief Perez, and also the former acting directors have been requesting. So every time we request, they would come back to us and check the mayor's office, check the mayor. So if we need anything from Saipan or what, it comes out from our budget or from the mayor's office.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. And now the chair will now open the floor for any members who have questions. Let me recognize the vice chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, Acting RD Villa Gomez. Thank you for joining us this morning. With these vacancies that are, would you consider them hard to fill right now? Meaning not the police officer 1 necessarily, but like the police officer 3, police officer 2. Is that a difficult task to fill those positions right now? Or the police officer 1s are just not qualified to move up the rank?
Yeah, right now it's difficult for someone to apply from the outside. So that's why when I was looking at it, my plan also is to restructure everyone so they can bump up, so we can have a ranking structure for in our department. Because right now, the rank structure is from captain to sergeant. There's no lieutenant.
Okay.
So my plan is the remaining FTE, or as we can bump up everyone.
Okay. That would potentially free up.
But the issue that we're encountering also is, according from OPM, in order for us to restructure or to bump up the ranks, is that officer needs to resign and apply for lieutenant, or that police officer 3 needs to resign and apply for a sergeant.
That's a little bit strange. If the vacancy is there, wouldn't you give the opportunity to the ones in the office, or the opportunity to rank up?
Yeah. So I mean, I asked Mr. Chairman and Vice Chairman, maybe he can bring this thing up to OPM. And
Is there anything in black and white from OPM?
I'm not really sure about black and white, but I know that a former director has tried it in the past and was rejected by OPM.
I just don't want to take their word for it. I want to make sure it's in black and white, because that's just crazy that you have to resign to move up to a higher position.
So according from Sergeant Borja, it's like it's considered a promotional for them, and I think because of the directive order that came out from the governor.
Okay, a promotion is you move up, not resign and then apply for a
Yeah.
position. When you resign and you apply for a higher position, that's a new position. That's not a promotion, right? So So I don't think there's an issue in regards to the department addressing that. It shouldn't be
Right. So
resigning.
we definitely need to address this again. I mean, this issue actually came up in the last budget hearing. So when the former director tried to fill these positions like a PO3, or the only ones who would apply for those would be the existing employees. He was told that because there was a directive that promotion, and OPM saw this as a promotion, that they wouldn't allow that, then they said that they would have to resign and then apply. But given the time it takes to process a personal action, nobody's going to take that course, and that's why a lot of these positions remain vacant.
Do you have that directive from OPM? Because if OPM is recommending a person to resign in order to apply for a higher position, that's just crazy.
So I personally do not. I mean, this is just what I was told from our director from DPS previously.
Okay.
But that's what they conveyed to us as to why they can't fill the positions. I mean, I might be able to look a little deeper into it, but
Is there a communication, maybe acting RD, regarding that to the previous resident director from OPM?
Yes, so one of our former police officer was a police officer 1. She applied for police officer 2. That's when the thing came up that she was told by the OPM, or the OPM told the RD that she needs to resign, and then she can apply for police officer 2.
Okay, do you guys have the paperwork on that? Any paper trail? Because if it's just word of mouth,
Yeah,
we can change all of that instantly in the budget process.
yeah. I'll have my admin.
Please, because that's very unfair for not just DPS. This is for any other agency or line department. Because how do you encourage people to move up in the ranking system if you have to tell them to resign? That's just crazy. And if they're still gonna follow the previous existing statute that was never really repealed, that individual would have to resign for a minimum of almost 6 months in order to get back into service. So, if that's possible, if we can get that, and then maybe we can work with the DPS Tinian and DPS Saipan. Obviously, we have OMB here and finance on the line, so we can work on see how to move your people up while not having to resign. Because that honestly, that's just crazy for me. I yield my time, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Are there any other members that have questions? Let me recognize Representative Malcolm Omar.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Acting RD, I just want to, going back to the academy, what's the estimated number of cadets to be hired, and do we have that pool already available with, or like an applicant pool that's ready to fill it?
So January 23rd, a flyer will be out from WIA. But we do have some interested individuals that have been coming over to the station asking when are we going to open up. Then from there, WIA is going to do the processing and then turn it over to us. And then hopefully, if everything goes well, we can probably kick off the academy by September.
Okay, so how many officers are we planning to, Sheriff Department planning to, how many vacancies
No.
to fill?
10. It was given to us from WIA. 10.
Okay. And with that's going to be WIA funded for a year, 1 year, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Omar. Are there any other questions from the members? Let me recognize Representative Angelo Camacho.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just really quick, do you guys have the same issue as Rhoda with regards to communication? I know they requested radios. I don't know if you guys have radios as well, or?
Yeah, we do have radios, but the only thing right now we're having issues is the coverage. The north side of Tinian, the coverage is really bad. So we have to depend on our cell phones or any other means of communication.
And those, I guess, I'm assuming towers, right?
Yeah.
Is it from a private entity like Docomo, or?
So we're connected with the hospital. It's together with the hospital under Radiocom.
I see.
Yeah.
And you said you currently have 10 police officers.
Yes.
And how many functional vehicles do you guys have?
Vehicles, we have 6 function.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Komatsu. Recognize Representative Julie Ogo.
Thank you, Chairman. Welcome to the hearing again.
Thank you.
I believe the mayor mentioned earlier or yesterday that DPS is still under postpaid on the utilities. Is that correct? Or is it
Yes.
on prepaid now?
Under prepaid,
Under prepaid now? Okay. So I noticed that you're asking for 90,000 plus on utilities. This is for just the power itself, or
yes.
is the mayor paying for your utilities right now, your department?
Yes.
So this is just like the cushion, is a cushion for the department.
Yeah.
This operational supplies, can you just, break it down a little? 40,000, I believe. We're looking at 40,000. Is this for like gears, or what type of operational supplies are you referring to on this?
Yeah, pretty much gears. And in general, it's just gears because it's been a while since our officers got sufficient gears that are, every year or every 2 years we need to update, like, such as like pepper mace or other necessities needed for a police officer.
Okay. And other expenses you have for 20,000, what are these for? Other expenses you have down here for 20,000?
It's just like a cushion, at the same time for travel or any other emergency needs.
Okay, you have travel down
Yeah.
for 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have also on this category, on the travel, you have additional 10,000.
Yes. Because sometimes, when disaster comes or search and rescue, we usually use those to, at the same time, feed our officers who are out there searching, or especially like during typhoons or what.
Okay. What revolving accounts do you guys have right now?
We only have one from motor vehicle.
Motor vehicles, that DMV, right?
Yes.
Is that the ID? Driver's license, I mean?
Yes, driver's
Okay.
license.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Rep. Ogo. With that revolving fund, Acting Director, do you happen to know how much is the balance in that account? And we can verify also with the Department of Finance. Do you have the harmonizing code for that revolving fund?
I'm not too sure in the code, but according from my staff, which I verified yesterday, it's about roughly 8,000.
Roughly. Katrina Lynn, if you're still in, do you have that on your side too? The motor vehicle revolving fund?
Yes, that is correct. It is $7,490.90. However, we do need to do a thorough deep dive because they do have over expenditures from their project ledger. So their grand total is negative $14,391.91.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. We will proceed with more questions, and at this time I recognize Representative Denita Yangtumay.
Thank you, Chair. You were mentioning something about doing your search and rescue, or that's in the water, right?
Yes.
So you have enough fuel, you have good boats, jet ski and all those stuff?
For the boat, we got it, a while back already. but even that is not sufficient enough for Tinian.
Yeah. So like yesterday, I was sharing with Fish and Wildlife also about the Coast Guard grant. Are you aware of that one? Are you guys?
We are aware of that, but it goes to Central. So the
That's a lot of
Central.
money.
Yes.
Yes.
So the Central does that grant under RBS, which is the
Yes.
Marine
Recreational.
Patrol, and then from there they disperse the funding, or they get us what we need.
Yeah.
But so far,
I think it can cover all those stuff you need. So maybe you can try again.
we can
Ask
try.
them.
Because we used to have a jet ski, but it was apparently it was broken, so they brought it up to Saipan, and we just found out, and the mayor and I just found out that they surveyed the jet ski. So we don't have any jet ski. We only have one boat, which the boat is not sufficient enough for Tinian, where if you guys were to ride on the boat and just go out here to the green buoy, you'll be wet. I mean, it's not feasible for search and rescue.
Guess I would advise that you get back, ask them, because that's 800, 5,000. That's a lot.
Thank you.
Can cover the 3 islands. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Representative Yankton. I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, RD Villagomez, for being here. So I have several questions. And, and again, we've been very strong in our advocacy to increase public safety in all areas of the Marianas. We do understand that there are internal concerns as well. And in order to enhance and bring some pride back into the system, we have to also address what's going on internally on all 3 islands. And that also involves maybe how we budget, how we forecast. So my question to you is, how many civilians do you have on your civilian, I guess, support do you have on your workforce out of the 10 you have now? Or who are currently employed?
About 6.
6. And then the 6 civilians. And what are their jobs? What do they do? That's admin, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Admin and motor vehicle specialist
Admin, motor vehicle specialist.
and
Okay.
mechanic.
Now, the rest, how many do you have in traffic? Patrol.
For traffic, solo, just one.
1 patrol officer?
No, so traffic is different from patrol.
Okay, so 1 traffic. And what do they do?
They take care of,
Investigation?
traffic investigation and take care of the highway.
Okay, and then you have investigators?
Yes.
How many?
2.
Okay. And their job is everything from accidents to crime?
They investigate the crimes,
Okay,
the criminal crime.
okay. Anything else? How about BMV? Real ID, just real ID alone?
We just open up a position for that, and we just filled it about a month or 2.
Okay. So you have 1 person doing that,
Yes.
fully trained?
She just got on board,
Okay.
so we're waiting for Saipan to give us the green light to train them and to kick off the real ID here on Tinian.
Wonderful. Okay, anything else?
So the rest of the officers are in patrol.
Patrol, so how many exactly?
Roughly around 8.
8.
But this is, so what we did is we merged the patrol section, combine, so the officers that are there, some of them do dual jobs. Some of them are assigned to boating safety section,
Okay, so
but
yeah.
right now they're helping out in patrol section. That's why we merge everyone there.
Okay, so in boating safety, how many do you have?
2.
2. Okay, anything else? You have boating safety, patrol, real ID, investigation, traffic, and admin.
Yes.
Anything else in your organization that's not accounted for? Resident director?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have other section like sex offender.
Okay, how many do you, is that funded?
No.
Okay.
Well,
sex-
it's in general.
Okay, is that part of the vacant?
It's part of the investigation section.
All right,
since you're
so
asking.
under investigation, you have sex offender, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then, so give me how many under investigations do you
Two.
need?
We need about roughly 5.
5, okay. So one would be for sex offender, and I'm getting to this real quick because it's gonna come up to your budget in terms of resource planning, right, and workforce. So you have 5 under investigation, your dream list. You have 1 sex offender, you have 1 crime investigator, okay, and then the 3 would be what?
Domestic and like general crimes and for drugs.
Okay, got it. Okay, anything else?
That's about it.
Okay, okay.
So far.
So, all right. So take me through this. So if you had 1 individual apply to to go up in the scale, correct? You were talking about that particular
Yes.
person. And she would have, or this individual would have been a civilian or one of the areas here?
Are we talking about restructure or which one?
When she applied for her raise or to be restructured, right? She applied and they told her that she had to quit and then reapply, right? Okay, so if she would have reapplied, where would she have been placed in your organization?
Well, it all depends where she came from, what section she's from.
So what section, where would she be? In investigation, patrol, boating safety, admin?
Most likely in patrol.
Most likely, okay. So how many tickets do you guys average in a year? How many citations?
I'm not sure on that, but for like monthly, roughly about 50 to
50?
yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. Okay. Are any of those government?
It's all in general.
All over? Okay. Just want to make sure that everyone's paying their fair share of the ticket, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so 50 monthly, no? Okay.
Roughly. Yes.
Roughly. Now, Chairman Perez, real quick, I'm just going to shift to you. Do you have any authority, or does the mayor have any authority to not restructure, what's the word I'm looking for? Reprogram from DPS funds to fund something else?
Yes.
You do?
So the mayor has expenditure authority over the mayor's office and the 8 departments.
Okay, so if the mayor was going to take money from DPS, would he have to ask DPS first, or he can do it just by himself?
We could just do it by ourselves.
Okay, all right. So one of the things I'd like to ask you, Mr. Perez, it's come to our attention, at least to me, that there's funds on the revolving funds account from DPS that may or may not have been transferred to support other programs, which are needs. But can you check into that and make sure that whatever funds that are collected in terms of traffic and citations and what have you stays within that department, because that's going to help support their Real ID program now moving forward
Okay.
in
First,
any event.
right. We have never taken a dollar from DPS.
No,
and-
no, I'm
right.
not saying that there
But-
is, but once again, if it just comes to us to please double check, we're now asking that please check, and if there has been any activity in which the mayor needed to move money because he was short somewhere else, and he has that discretion, that's great. What my ask to you is that in terms of public safety, whatever that is, to please maintain that, because that will now help them support the Real ID program. So that's my ask.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then back to you, sir. Do your officers get drug tested?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So you guys pay for that?
Yes.
And how much does that cost you a year?
I'm not sure because I'm not sure. I think the former director, when he was the director, that when it happened.
Okay, so, but you do budget for drug tests?
Right now, I'm not sure if, I don't think so. It's budgeted.
Okay. Would you like it to get budgeted if there was extra money?
Yes.
Chairman, I have a question, and maybe the vice chair can answer this. WIA will not be able to support the drug test, will they?
The drug test, meaning for new employment or existing employment?
New. Or
New em-
existing also?
Well, when you get to go through the WIA process, you're gonna have to go through the regular. It's almost like a regular government employment. You have to take the drug test so you can qualify to be a WIA, I guess, participant, and then they go through the process. In DPS's case, WIA would pay for the cadet period, and then up to 6 months or a year of the police officer one, kind of like they do with the fire.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Vice. And I two more questions, Artie, real quick. What is your average crime? Daily, monthly, yearly? What areas? You have so domestic violence. What is your crime on domestic violence? What are the total reports that you receive in a month?
In a month, probably you can say 5.
5?
Yeah. 5 to 10.
Okay, and right now you don't have anybody doing investigation on domestic violence, or do you?
Yes, we have
One.
two.
Oh, two?
Currently.
Okay.
So these 2 officers right now that are assigned to investigation, they do everything in investigation, from
Okay.
general crimes to domestic to drugs to everything.
Okay, all right. And then what about sexual assault?
Yes.
How many?
Probably on average, probably one,
Okay.
1 or 2.
Do you guys leverage any MOUs or collaborative partnerships with other agencies like, let's say DYS, if it has to do with minors, in terms of travel? Do you guys kind of share resources, or is the mayor just totally carrying you guys?
No, so that's why I mentioned on my opening is that we encounter so many times where, either court or DOS ask us to escort the individual to Saipan. Then at the end of the day, the mayor covers for our travel.
Okay, so here's my next question. When the court asks DPS to take somebody to Saipan,
It's the mayor's.
the mayor
office
pays for
again.
that?
Yes.
Okay, we'll look into that, because I think the court should pay for that.
Yeah. So any bench warrant court orders, the mayor pays for the travel.
Oh, anything else the mayor pays for? Because, we've got some funds that we like to take from the court on the Justice Building to help support this stuff, which is public safety. Okay, so you guys pay the tickets. The mayor pays for all the tickets. Do you have a
Everything.
rough number how much the mayor spends on supplying and purchasing your tickets?
I'm not sure, but I know it's a couple times when, even when I'm acting, I've encountered that.
Okay, maybe we can budget for the next 5 years.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Chairman. I yield my time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Representative Arisa Flores. Acting Director, I see that you have also a position that's a trade specialist too. What does this position? What is the duties and responsibility of this position? It's classified as a trade specialist too.
It's our mechanic.
Okay, so strictly just mechanical duties.
Yeah, just the maintenance of the vehicles.
Okay. And then you have several administrative specialists. This staff, they just deal with administrative stuff. You're not doing police work, right? Is
No,
that
just admin stuff.
admin stuff, okay. And then I can see that your request for overtime is at the tune of 20,000, right? With the limited personnel that you have right now, and a lot of police officers are resigning from the department. I could assume that your staffs are overwhelmed with duties and responsibilities, right? So my question is, with the limited staff, the potential of overtime is perhaps high, right? Because so let me ask this question: how many shifts do you have in a 24-hour operation?
So we're running 4 shifts right now, but in 2 of the shift, we only have 1 officer assigned to that. So that means the outgoing officer needs to stay back with the incoming shift.
Okay, so when you say 1 officer handles the whole operation for like staggered, like from 4 p.m. to midnight, just 1 officer handling the whole entire operation?
Well, 1 officer right now, but so that's why. So for example, on a day shift, like for today right alone, for example, there's only 2, right? I mean, there's 2 per shift, so there's 2. Now come 4 to 12 shift, there's only 1. So one of the officers from the day shift needs to stay back to work together with the 4 to 12 shift.
So your operation is you try as much as possible to have at least 2 officers running each shift.
Yes, we need. I mean, it's a must to have 2. But even that, Chairman, we're running on skeleton crew because there's the 2 officers. One needs to stay and man the phone while the other one goes out
To
and
respond.
patrol or responds.
Right. And then when you have a major emergency response and the 2 officer cannot handle, you get to call in off-duty officers to assist?
Yes.
Are there some instances or circumstances?
Yes, in some occasions we'll call the off-duty officers. I mean, for the record, even myself as an acting director, I come in and work overtime because my officers are exhausted. They've been working more than 24 hours. So they call, can you please come in and relieve me? So I will come in and, at least relieve the officer for at least 8 hours to go home and rest. But yes.
So with your request for overtime at the tune of 20,000 is kind of roughly what on
Too low.
circumstances you guys accumulate, right? On
Yeah.
a annual basis. Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Any further questions? Let me recognize Representative Patrick San Nicolas.
Simple question at the acting director. Are your officers allowed to work 24 hours consecutive?
No.
And they are working 24 hours.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Acting Director. Ayun, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative San Nicolas. Any further question for Acting Director Villagomez? Recognize the floor leader.
Chairman, thank you, and thank you, Artie. I'm not going to ask a question, but I just need to put for the record, it is imperative that we give to public safety and enforcement. I cannot stress the importance enough on all 3 islands, and if we're going to continue at this route, then we are doing a disservice and an injustice to keeping people safe, and that I will not stand for. Mr. Chairman, thank you, I yield. Thank you, Artie.
Thank you.
Thank you, floor leader. Any other further questions? If there is no further questions, Acting Director Villagomez and Mr. Alan Perez. Oh, let me recognize Representative Julie Ogo.
Just for clarification, uh, Wally, these vacancies that are on a right now, are these like, did these officers resign, or are these like open and then you're asking to be funded again?
Yes, yeah, they've been, they resigned, so right now they're just dollared.
Okay, thank you.
asking, yeah.
Thank you. Any further? If there's no further, we thank you on behalf of the committee, Acting Director Villagomez and Mr. Alan Perez. And with that, I give you the floor for any closing remarks before we proceed to the next department.
Well, I would like to thank each and every one of you guys for coming out here and hearing our concerns. And, you know, I understand myself, I understand that there's a lot of financial issues on all three islands. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm asking for your support to please look into Tinian DPS, because myself and the mayor and even chief, at times we can't sleep at night. I tend to wake up 4 in the morning and think what's gonna happen today or tomorrow, you know. But even that, we're still staying strong and we're still praying that things will pull through. But I'm glad that WIA came in and sat down with us, and we're gonna kick off on June 23rd, rain or shine, the 10 positions. So I'm asking for your support and your understanding once again, is to please help us out. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Acting Director. And members, at this time, we'll take a 5 minutes recess, and then we'll continue on with Department of Fire and Emergency Management as our last department for today. Short recess. We are back in our budget hearing session, and before we entered into recess, we just concluded with the Department of Public Safety, and before us now is our last department, and that is the Department of Fire and Emergency Medical Services of the Municipality of Tinian. And we have Resident Director Ray De La Cruz before us, and as well as Mr. Alan Perez for any questions with regards to the Mayor's office. So with that, R.D. De La Cruz, I give you the floor for the opening remarks.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tinian. For the record, my name is Raymond T. De La Cruz. I am the Deputy Commissioner for the Department of Fire and Emergency Medical Services, Station 6, Tinian. Welcome again.
Thank you, Director. I can see on your request, there is a request of 30,000 for travel. Are these requests for inter-island travel or?
Yes, that's affirmative. I have 6 personnel that need to go up to Saipan for evaluation, OJT, so they can be checked off for the medic. So
Okay.
that way they can touch patients. Right now, I'm only assigning them to suppression.
Right, and with the travel at 30, it coincides also with your request for 30,000 for personal training costs.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then currently, I know that you have requested 39,000 for utilities, but as of this fiscal year, the mayor's office is paying for you guys utilities?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you, and with that, I open now the floor for any member who has questions for our director. Let me recognize the Vice Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Deputy Commissioner, for making your time available to join us for this budget hearing. Can we just start off on the revolving accounts? How many revolving accounts and how much within the revolving accounts?
We have prevention with 12,000 and the EMS with 9,000 and some change.
$10,000 and $9,000. Sorry, or 12,000. 12,000.
12,000. Yeah, 12K and 9K respectively.
Okay. On there's also a request for the retirement contribution. You're requesting $30,000. Is that for just DC plan members or DB plan members?
I think it's both, right? DC.
DC.
Yeah.
Miss V's, it's just off on the calculations as per what you got in your with OMB and this request of additional $30,000 for retirement contribution.
I see that they requested for defined contribution, but the OMB did not include any allocation based on the budget that I'm looking at. So I think the health insurance premium, I can run a report right now to see if there are any 401, and I'm sure there are. Because if you can see right now how the budget is allocated, the health insurance premium is 99 and they only requested for 58.
Yes.
So there may be, we can do an adjustments.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So it'll be easier that way. Also, you're requesting for equipment up to $75,000.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Have these been submitted to NMHC? Because you know that you guys are the golden child of NMHC. You receive a lot of money from NMHC, and have this been requested to them?
Yeah, we have all our list on all our needs and wants for NMHC. You know, we have it all prepared, but we have to wait for the next cycle.
Okay. And that the amount is at $75,000
Yes,
that
sir.
you're requesting? And I think those guys like to give fire a couple 100,000, $1 million.
It's always
right?
Christmas with them.
So it's Christmas with them, right? Yeah. And then the repair and maintenance, that flows, that's for the building here?
That's for our vehicles.
Your vehicles?
Yes.
Okay. What kind, just emergency vehicles and?
Yeah, right now, currently we only have one service vehicle.
Okay.
Just last week, our Dodge Ram
Okay.
died on the scene.
Have this submission gone to them? Because I know, again, you guys qualify for these types of things to them, whether it's a fire truck, an ambulance, vehicles for fire. Have they been requested to them by any
Yes.
chance? Okay, and how about fire, meaning central? Have they been very cooperative in you guys' requests? Do they include you guys when they do get these grant monies? Does it funnel down to you guys here on Tinian?
Yes, it does. We communicate whenever there's a grant cycle, and all islands we meet and we discuss what's priority for all the
Okay.
3 islands.
How about grants external from the NMHC grants, like direct fire grants? Do they include you guys in
Yes,
when
they
they do? In numbers, or also with the equipment funneling down this way, or any types of funding source to assist?
Equipments also.
Okay. Okay. So most of your operational costs is for all of these listings that you have mentioned earlier, whether it's building maintenance, equipment, and a vehicle in this case.
Yes.
Right on. I yield my time. Thank you, Commissioner.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Are there any questions from the members for Deputy Commissioner De La Cruz? Let me recognize the floor leader.
Hi, sir.
Good
How are
morning.
you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, you know, DFEMS has never experienced much of a shortage in terms of resources compared to public safety. And you guys are the front line in terms of natural disaster and other areas in which we need EMT specialists and what have you. I notice on your repairs and maintenance, it's at 100,000. And this is for the fire truck, or is this for various vehicles in
For
your
fire
fleet?
truck and other assets that we have, like the Jaws of Life and all
Jaws of Life, okay. And then on your freight and handling, you also indicate a $10,000 request. What is that for exactly?
Those are when we order our medical supplies. We have to get it from Saipan. We have no vendors here that supply any medical supplies for us and uniforms, so we always have to ship them from Saipan.
So you pay for that?
Out of my money, yes, my pocket, yeah.
Okay, so Saipan, the central office or central government, you provide a list and then you pay for it and then they mail it to you, which you also pay for?
Yes.
Okay. And then you also have personnel training at 30,000. How many staff or how many people are you have them on rotation, or first one in, first one to get trained, last one in, last one to get trained? How does this work?
No, so I have 19 firefighters, including myself, and we were multiple hats. We're all cross-trained in all divisions because we're just one small community. So I train my guys, you know, to be SALRU, rescue divers.
Nice. Okay. And these are all certified positions? They all have certifications
Yes.
that back that up?
Yes. Most of the suppression trainings that my guys go through are board certified.
Okay. And then back to Vice Chair's question about your vehicle. Is this a purchase for one vehicle?
Well, it could be a purchase or it could be a lease. It's all about the money.
Okay. And this is for a truck, I assume?
Yes, I'm looking at getting at least 2 more service vehicles because there's multiple times where we're doing search and rescue and we only have 1 vehicle to work with. So my guys would use their own personal vehicles to go out to different locations.
Do you anticipate to retrofit any of these vehicles?
Yes.
How much would that cost?
Ooh, probably per truck, it's gonna cost about 5 to 6,000. Just
Okay.
for the
Retro.
regular gears, that's the basic gears.
Okay. And that's not included in this budget?
No.
Okay.
Hopefully NMC will.
Luckily, we have our vice chair here. I'll just keep quiet. Okay, and then going back to my comment about, you know, DFEMS is the front line for a lot of the other stuff. Obviously, DPS will be involved there. But this is we anticipate to have about 5 typhoons.
Yes, ma'am. That's
Have you-
according to NOAA.
That's according to NOAA. In this budget, have you planned for any overtime, any cushion, any contingency plan? Have you planned anything at all for that?
Yes, usually during whenever we get a storm, any typhoons or any calamities, my personnel are on call. I full activation,
Okay.
and then I run them by sections of the islands. You know, I break them down into teams and say you're responsible for Division 1.
Right.
You know, that's the only area you're going to concentrate on.
Yeah. That's very similar to the organizational chart I've seen. And what I'm working with also with DPS is kind of model that so that they're not overworked.
Right.
So my last question, water is life for everybody. How many fire hydrants do you have on your island?
Oh, I can't answer that. That's
So-
CUC's. Yeah. That's CUC's
Oh yeah?
division.
Okay. So, but you know where they're at.
Yes, we do. We have
Okay.
it on our map.
And all of them are active with water?
No, I'm working with CUC right now. We have some dry hydrants
Okay.
that I worked with them last year to see if they can activate those systems because there's some areas that we have fire and the hydrants are dry, so we have to go like a quarter mile to refuel our trucks.
Really?
Yeah. And that's, you know, that's a big no-no for us because
Yeah.
we need to kill that dragon before.
Absolutely,
spreads.
especially if it was someone's house. So in the event that CUC comes to check if it's to put water or whatever, are they going to charge you for that?
No.
And even if they charge you, it's not in this budget.
No.
So you would not have any extra money should CUC charge you to inspect those fire hydrants, correct?
Yeah. So far, we haven't been billed for using the fire hydrants. We just, I mean, there's no meters on them. They never ask for info. So we just keep refueling.
Okay, and I think my whole thing is with DFEMS is this planning and forecasting and foreseeing what is anticipated. We are expected to have some natural disasters hit the Commonwealth, the Marianas, and so I'm looking at your budget, and a lot of it is just basic survival at this point. There's no contingency, there's no emergency support and cushion. So that's my question, and I'm assuming the mayor has probably forecasted already a separate fund to make sure that in that time of need, there's going to be some cushion there. But then someone else is going to fall short because now we're planning for an emergency.
Yes, and the mayor is very helpful with all departments. You know, even with us, if we're out on the field and we've been fighting a fire for 4 hours, you know, I'll just request for like water and food, and the mayor will be okay.
Last year we were here with you, and you mentioned something about your gear and how outdated it was, and the need to purchase new ones. Has that been done?
Yes, thank you, NMHC.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yes, we have new turnout gears.
Uh-huh.
Boots, we have. I mean, we're complete.
okay. So basically, this budget is just to help maintain what you've already received last year.
Yes, so I'm trying to, you know, according to NFPA, each firefighter should have 2 turnout gears. You know, that's to prevent cancer and stuff, because when we go into a fire, when we take off our turnout gear, we have to make sure we have an extra turnout gear in case we have to go again. Because if we're going to keep using the same turnout gear, we have carbon on our
Yeah.
coats and stuff, and then we will be inhaling it.
And my last question, how many fires do you average, and how many do you anticipate? We're coming up to the dry season, so you guys will be pretty busy.
So far, for this year, we had 3
Okay.
grass fires. But you know, every day I'm like the weatherman at the station. I let my guys know, all right, it's gonna be a hot day. Let's prepare ourselves just in case we get a 1047. You know, if we need crews, then we'll call in other people.
All right. Well, that's it for me. Sir, thank you for your time, and thank you for being here. Thank you, Chairman. I yield.
Thank you, Floor Leader Flores. Deputy, looking at your worksheet, I see that there are perhaps 3 vacancies, positions that are actually funded. So my question is, are there any efforts or movements from your department in trying to fill these vacancies?
Yes, we do have 2 openings right now at OPM, but nobody has applied for them yet.
Okay, and you have started this job notice
Yes,
just
yeah.
this year?
Yeah, it's been going on for almost a year now, and I guess nobody wants to be a firefighter, but but it's been going on. So I just worked with OPM to just leave it open until filled.
Okay, that's great news that you are taking efforts to try to fill this vacant position. Are there any other questions? Let me recognize Representative Julie Ogo.
Thank you, Chairman. Welcome, De La Cruz. I'm just curious, how many fire trucks and ambulance do you guys have right
We
now?
have one
Functioning.
We have 1 ambulance. It's already almost 5 years old, and we have a 2,000-gallon pumper and a
Fire truck.
300-gallon mini pumper.
Okay, so you have one large
Yes.
fire truck and one mini
Mhm.
for small fires. Okay, so with the one ambulance, if something happens, what's your backup?
Truck,
So-
pickup truck.
You're gonna load the patient on the pickup truck and
That's our only option right now until we turn in all our requests for a
an
new
NMHC,
ambulance
right?
with NMHC.
Okay.
So we just have to wait for that cycle.
okay. No, I'm just asking because Rhoda also has just one ambulance.
Yeah, and that's
one
a
fire
scary
truck.
thought when you only have
And
one.
it's very critical, when it comes to, like transporting patients.
Yes. So what
emergencies
we
and all
have
that,
at the
and fires
station
and
is
all that.
we have a backup system, where just in case our ambulance breaks down or we have 2 calls at the same time, even the truck will roll out and it'll have everything on it, all the EMS stuff.
Okay, thank you. Are you?
Thank you, Representative Julie Ogo. Commissioner, how are the support from the department in Saipan, if there's any? Are there any support from the Department of Saipan to the municipality of Tinian and Aguiguan?
Yes.
Uh,
Every time when they see my email or my phone number, they like, oh crap. But yeah, they're very helpful. Whenever I ask for something, you know, they always give. Speaking of that, today we will be getting new mattresses from them.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really great news. Thank you for that clarification. Are there any other questions from the members? If there's no further questions, Deputy Commissioner Undangkluna Susmasi, thank you for coming before this August body to answer our questions. And with that said, if there is any closing remarks from you, we give you the floor.
Okay. Thank you again, everyone, for giving me the opportunity and for all the Q&A. This is a very good session. I hope that, you know, everything goes smooth and all department gets what they're asking for. Right? Yeah, let's all pray, right? But yeah, you know, I mean, right now, if you look at the Northern Marianas, we're in a war zone. So, you know, DPS, DFEMS, we really need to kick it up a notch and be prepared for anything that should happen. Thank you.
Thank you, and Jesus Mosi. So members, with the Department of Fire and Emergency Medical Services, that concludes our two-day budget hearing. And going through our order of business, our agenda, we are now on item 6, announcements. Are there any announcements from the members? Recognize Representative Julie Ogo.
It's not actually an announcement, maybe back up to miscellaneous or something.
Sure, please proceed.
I know that I've shared this, that if finance or OMB can provide us all the accounts of revolving accounts and special accounts.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
duly noted. Katrina,
Thank you.
if you're still online, if the committee
I'm here.
if the committee can make that official request that that we gather all revolving accounts for all 3 municipalities for our future deliberations with this fiscal year budget proposal. Is that something you can provide the August body, and what is that time frame looking like?
Okay, I am tracking to run all the revolving funds for the municipalities, and we will still undergo each account through the fund certification process, and we will provide the agencies how to run their year-to-date with the parameters that our office uses.
Yes, thank you for that, Katrina. Are there any other?
Chairman, I have a question.
Yes, please proceed, Mr. Palacios.
So for the year to date, you guys want as of date the end of last month, or you want it as of today?
As of today, if possible, we want it to be more like kind of
Current.
accurate and approximate, right, with that data.
Okay, noted.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Palacios. Any other miscellaneous from the members or announcement? If there's no further, the chair would like to again thank the mayor of the Tinian and Aguiguan municipality, and of course the people of Tinian for always never-ending warm welcome whenever we come this way. It's always an honor to come over before this senatorial district to meet its leaders and its people to kind of hear their concerns with all the budget issues and hardships perhaps that they are experiencing in these most trying times. So we thank you guys, the people of Tinian and Aguiguan and Undongkluna Susmosi. And with that, we now are in our last order of business, and that's adjournment, and the chair now adjourns this budget hearing. We are adjourned.